Have you ever noticed that Dr. Eggman's greatest obsession isn't taking over the world? It's actually building something that can beat Sonic at his own game. Across decades, he's created an entire line of robotic hedgehogs, each one faster, stronger, and smarter than the last. From Silver Sonic to Metal Sonic Kai, let's go over the full evolution of Eggman's mechanical Sonics. Let's begin with Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Master System and Game Gear. Here we meet Silver Sonic, a compact, chrome-colored prototype found in Scrambled Egg Zone. Silver Sonic was Eggman's first attempt at mimicking Sonic's speed, equipped with spin attacks and a grappling arm. It lacked advanced AI, but it could launch itself all over the arena to defend the last Chaos Emerald and the path to Eggman's final fortress, the Crystal Egg. Later, we got Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Genesis and Mega Drive. Here, Eggman built a much more advanced creation, Robo-Sonic, officially known as Mecha Sonic Mark I. Guarding the Death Egg, this towering machine was Eggman's first true Sonic duplicate. Jet-powered, heavily armored, and built purely for combat. It could roll, charge, and attack with spike bursts. Unlike Silver Sonic, Robo-Sonic wasn't as agile, but its spinning blades made it a dangerous threat. Sonic CD introduced the definitive Robot Sonic, Metal Sonic. Sleek, blue, and fast enough to race Sonic head-to-head. Metal Sonic was a perfect mechanical doppelganger. Eggman created him not to only match Sonic's speed, but to surpass it. His Stardust Speedway race cemented him as Sonic's mechanical rival rather than just another machine. This design would reappear again and again, such as in Sonic Drift 2 with his car the Blue Devil, Sonic R, and Sonic Generations paying homage to Sonic CD. In Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Eggman built his next machine, Mecha Sonic Mark II, or just Mecha Sonic. This version guarded the Sky Sanctuary Zone as Sonic chased Eggman toward the Death Egg. Taller and more angular than the earlier Robo-Sonic, Mecha could spin dash and hover using rocket thrusters. Its most terrifying feature came after its defeat by Sonic. At the end of Knuckles' story, it absorbed the Master Emerald's power and transformed into Super Mecha Sonic, a golden floating, chaos-infused version capable of firing energy waves and generating a shield. This was Eggman's first robot to directly channel chaos energy, albeit briefly. Metal Sonic would appear again in Knuckles Chaotix as the mysterious Metal Sonic Kai. At first glance, he resembled the classic CD design, but after a battle, he transformed into a colossal form, a red and silver monster-sized machine that filled the screen. Kai, or Titan Metal, could fire beams of energy, project spinning star attacks, and teleport around the arena. In essence, this was Metal Sonic's first final boss transformation. A year later, Rocket Metal appeared in Sonic the Fighters. This version combined the design of Metal Sonic with a built-in rocket system. Rocket Metal wasn't designed for infiltration or endurance. In fact, outside of an introductory cinematic where he helped build the Death Egg, Rocket Metal is never seen again as the penultimate fight is against a regular Metal Sonic. In Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast, Metal Sonic could be seen in Eggman's final base, stored in a glass tube, giving us a modern version of the robotic rival, as well as another Silver Sonic. When Sonic Adventure DX was released, players could unlock Metal Sonic as a playable character after collecting all 130 emblems, making his mark as a playable character in a mainline Sonic game. Sonic Heroes would bring back Metal Sonic in a dramatic evolution. Neo Metal Sonic. Having secretly copied data from Sonic and others, Neo Metal would morph his body and replicate abilities. After gathering enough data, he transformed into Metal Madness and ultimately Metal Overlord, a massive dragon-like machine powered by Chaos and Shadow's data. Neo Metal represented a peak of intelligence and ambition. He wasn't following Eggman's orders anymore. He wanted to surpass him. In 2024, Shadow Generations would bring back Metal Overlord as a boss battle. In Sonic Rivals 2, Metal Sonic was playable in a story-driven role. Sonic Rivals 1 just had him as an unlockable character. But Rivals 2 also introduced Metal Sonic 3.0, a creation of Eggman Nega, Eggman's counterpart from an alternate dimension and ancestor. Metal 3.0 shared the same design of the original, but replaced the blue with black and yellow highlights. Sonic Mania reintroduced Metal Sonic again. At the final phase of the fight in Stardust Speedway, he was enhanced by the Phantom Ruby, transforming him into a monster inspired by Metal Sonic Kai from Chaotix, but blue instead of red. That same year, Sonic Forces introduced Metal Sonic as a boss once more, but this time he wasn't real. He was an illusion created by the Phantom Ruby, but much larger than before. This copy fought like Metal, complete with energy bursts and shockwave attacks. Finally, Sonic Superstars introduced a Sonic robot, but not related. Available as a custom multiplayer avatar along with Metal Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, your mechanical avatar could appear during the boss fight of Cyber Station. While not a part of the main storyline, it serves as an homage to Eggman's legacy of mechanical Sonics. In the Archie Sonic the Hedgehog comic series, Robotnik pushed his mechanical experiments far further than the games. After the Sonic CD adaptation, Robotnik would later rebuild Metal Sonic to be stronger and faster, with Mark II and Mark III respectively. The Mark III unit would later come back as Shard the Metal Sonic, rebuilt and reprogrammed by Charles. Unlike his predecessors, Shard developed emotions, humor, and even loyalty. His design sported a gold trim armor akin to Sonic 3.0 and a glowing energy core, representing a Metal Sonic reborn. Archie's Mecha Sonic was vastly different, with it being a roboticized Sonic, effectively a Robian Mecha Sonic. Sonic assumed this robot form twice, the first being captured and changed against his will to destroy Knothole, and the second was by the Beam, where he sported a silver look and kept his free will. The Silver Sonic units of the Archie universe were also drastically reimagined. Being based on Sonic's mecha form, the first version, Silver Sonic 1, was a bulky machine used to defend the Death Egg. Silver Sonic 2 had a scaled down design, and finally Silver Sonic 3 perfected the model by combining the past two versions while being the giant badnik towering over Sonic. Other Archie creations pushed the legacy to extremes. Titan Metal Sonic, a towering juggernaut, served as Eggman's ultimate show of power, while Metal Sonic Troopers, a mass-produced legion of identical Sonics, were made to protect Robotropolis in Sonic's absence before being controlled by an entity known as Adam. There was even Metal Scourge, a reflection of the anti-Sonic from another dimension, painted green and black. Across the ocean, Fleetway Sonic the Comic had its own take on Metal Sonic called Metallics. What was once a sole Metal Sonic evolved into an army of Metal Sonics called the Brotherhood of Metallics. At their peak stood the Emperor Metallics, a red and gold commanding leader who ruled the others like a machine god. Under his reign, they almost succeeded in changing history. There was also the so-called Sonic the Badnik, where it captured the real Sonic before being destroyed, and Metallics Mark II, based on Mecha Sonic of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. In later years, IDW Sonic Comics continued the tradition with a new Neo-Metal Sonic. This Metal could command Eggman's army, transform into a super form with the help of the Master Emerald, and then again as Master Overlord. Mecha Sonic would also make a reappearance on Scrapnik Island along with other Scrap Badniks. Sonic Animation expanded on this further. The goofy pseudo-Sonic of Adventure Sonic the Hedgehog, while the Japanese OVA gave us Hyper Metal Sonic, similar design to the games, but a duplicate built from Sonic's own psyche. In Sonic Boom, Metal Sonic also made an appearance with slightly extended limbs to match Boom Sonic's lankier proportions, as well as Cyborg Sonic, a biomechanical replica infused with Sonic's DNA, designed to protect Morristown, aka Robocan. Sonic Prime introduced Chaos Sonic, a shard-powered wisecracking version of Sonic created by the Chaos Council, and Grim Sonic, a more ruthless version of Chaos Sonic created by Nine to capture Sonic and take his Shatterverse energy. And finally, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 introducing Metal Sonic in the post-credits, possibly arriving from another point in time with a blaster and an army of duplicates. From Silver Sonic's primitive steps to Neo Metal's ambition to surpass Eggman, every robotic Sonic represents Eggman's pursuit of perfection. He's built machines for pure speed, brute force, and advanced AI. But none have ever truly replaced the original.